Hello, everyone. This is Music Mukbang. My name is Zoe, and today we are talking to Rec Hall. Hello. Hi, guys.
Hey,
Hello.
Good afternoon.
Good
Oh,
afternoon.
so for the people that are listening versus watching, how about you guys go down the line and say your names and then what instrument or part of the band you are in.
Okay. Hi, I'm Ben. I play bass guitar and guitar.
All right.
I'm John. I sing and I play guitar.
I'm Lance and I play the drums.
All right. And I am so happy you guys are here. You are about to go on tour with Beach Weather on their Pineapple Sunrise tour. How excited are you guys? Like scale of 1 to 10, like are we hype?
It's a mixture of nervousness because this is our first time like truly being on the road for a month and like
Yeah.
doing this many shows,
It's like 2 months.
but very like extremely excited as well. So
It's
8.5 to
Yeah.
answer your
Okay.
question in
yeah,
numerical.
Yeah, for sure.
I'll do 0.7. I'll up you.
0.7.
very excited. I think that when we get more used to being on the road, it'll turn into strictly excitement rather than a mixture of
Mhm.
anxiety.
Yeah,
but-
that's true.
So yeah.
Well, and you guys are no strangers to doing shows though. You've played a lot of shows kind of in town, at church, on a float at the Rose Bowl parade, is that correct?
Wow.
That is
Yes.
Yeah.
correct.
That's awesome. So, do you have a particular show that you've played thus far that stands out to you, or maybe your first show that you played?
I mean, oh, how do you want to answer
The
this?
one we just did was
Yeah.
probably we just played at the Roxy just
Okay.
most recently, a
Yeah.
couple weeks ago.
Mhm.
And we really prepared a lot for it. And because we knew it was sold out and
Yeah.
all these things were culminating and it just felt really good to execute.
Yeah.
And all the practice paid off. We played pretty well, I think. So I
The
think that one's maybe it's a recency bias, but I think that one's my favorite show.
Yeah, for sure. And I know you spoke a little bit about that, like nervousness, but you have played with Lovely the Band, you've opened for some larger bands as well. Would you say that being like on tour, having these regular stops kind of adds a little bit more pressure? You're with your label mates and stuff like that, or is it more of like just the excitement of the unknown?
It's a good question.
Yeah.
I don't think I've actually like unpacked my feelings like that to like understand.
We're gonna unpack it today.
Yeah.
Yeah. We've been so just like busy making sure we're ready
Yeah.
that I don't think any of us have stopped to really like I
Understand.
yeah, for example, you just saying that, I was like, oh yeah, we're touring with our label mates. That's really sick. But like it's not been on it's been on the mind in terms of like we're really grateful to them for bringing us out and like they're a sick band, but I haven't stopped to consider like, oh, that's so cool that we're going with
Yeah,
label mates.
you haven't
We've just been so busy.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think it eases a little bit because like we got to know them just a little bit. We ran into them at a show and
Yeah.
they just seem like very genuine people. Like they just seem friendly. So it's like it's not like they're gonna be like looking down, like making sure we're doing a good job. Like
right.
I don't know. It like eased the nervousness a little bit meeting them.
Yeah. I think that a primary like source of my nervousness is not necessarily like the shows because I'm really confident with like our ability to be able to perform and because we've done shows like you said in the past. I think it's just like being away and not having like a home base and having all these unknowns and just having different variables that we maybe haven't considered, like I know this sounds silly, but like just we're Californians, we're used to 70 degrees in the winter. It's going to be crazy going places that actually has snow on the ground and realizing your hands don't move as fast
Yeah.
when
Yeah.
you're cold, so stuff like that, or like altitude and singing, just like of all the variables that I've thought of, I'm sure there's like 100 more that I haven't thought of. So that's what I'm kind of
Yeah,
nervous
for
about.
sure. And so you said the coats and the cold weather and stuff like that. Did you guys get kind of like a list of like what to prepare for as you're about to go on tour, or are they just kind of like you'll figure it out as you go?
No one tells us what to do. They just are like, "You got the tour. Let's go."
Yeah.
Wait, we
So
don't have a van.
you're like, we're gonna go on bikes. Has there been anything that has surprised you so far as like preparation, either musically, so rehearsing and preparing in that sense, or like literally, like you said, like packing and getting all that stuff together?
We've been preparing a lot, and we're a very we kind of like had a weird arc with our band. We started as a very, like, I would say, true live band, and Lance was like truly on drums, Ben was truly on bass, and I was like truly on guitar. But as like the years progressed, we realized how much power you can have as a band of learning how to produce, learning how to just like lay down tracks, and it made us all kind of multi-instrumentalists. And
Yeah.
now that we're preparing to such a, like an extreme degree, we're trying to like really prepare for this. We're playing again in like a garage, and what we're finding is that we're actually writing a lot of songs just from the flow of being in like the room together, and like someone does something cool, and then we're like, wait, let's take 20 minutes, let's try to see if that's a song. So I think that surprised me. I was not expecting this creativity to come out of rehearsals.
Yeah.
So that's been really fun.
Yeah. Yeah, that is super sick, and I feel like that's gonna have such like a cool impact too on like the future music that you'll be
Yeah.
making as well. You'll get to kind of see like what works with the audience and what
Mhm.
they respond to. So for sure. You guys are from California. I know you mentioned earlier before we introduced you guys that you just like went out for a quick surf before I was out shoveling snow.
Yeah.
It's fine.
Sorry.
But
You sound bitter. Do we need to unpack something?
just a little bit. I'll have to schedule a nice warm trip or something like that.
Mm.
I
But
didn't realize how like Californian we sounded when we said that. Like, yeah, we just went surfing this morning and then we went to the studio. It's no big deal.
I have some family in California, and it always kind of trips me up too, like like even just like the time difference, and
Uh-huh.
just like she's from San Francisco, so like
Mm.
they don't really get like a true winter, like when they
Yeah.
bundle up
Yeah.
in coats, it's like still only like 50s or whatever. It's
Uh-huh.
Even San Francisco is a frigid waste to us
Yeah.
guys.
Yeah.
Yeah. So obviously you guys are making music, you've been a part of that scene. Would you say that the surf kind of skate lifestyle in Southern California still has an influence on that music, or an influence on your music?
I have
Yeah.
like a weird perspective on this. I don't know if I have like
Okay.
a definitive answer, but I think that there's two very alive cultures happening in California. There's like the surf skate like coastal community, and then there's also like the LA community. And I don't think that there's not a whole lot of crossover from what I've seen.
Okay.
But I would say that I think we're influenced by both. I think that we're obviously influenced by the music, like just diversity in
Yeah.
LA, but then also growing up like on this like slower, more relaxed, like beachy like aesthetic. I think it's definitely influenced us. I don't know how, but like I think that just being exposed to it and exposed to like that like more relaxed, like slower pace lifestyle has definitely influenced us.
Yeah, for sure. And what was kind of the music scene, the music experience like in your households growing up? Were your parents like, did they play instruments? Were they in bands? How was that kind of?
That's a good question.
Yeah. I think your dad played bass, right?
Yeah, my dad, he played saxophone, he played bass, and I mean by played, he was like good at one point. I don't know if he can play much anymore, but he definitely he loved music growing up, so he definitely was not shy to pushing me towards that.
Right.
So yeah, I was very lucky, very supportive.
My parents didn't play anything, but both my parents, my dad especially, he's very proud of himself of keeping up with the times in terms of music. So like he's always finding his new genre that he likes and current bands. And so yeah, when I was growing up, going to Little League games or wherever we were going, he would put on this new CD he bought and whatever. So I definitely got the whole treatment. I basically had his music taste until I was like 15, and then I got my own. I got iTunes for myself.
Yeah.
You gained music sentiment.
Yeah, exactly. I
Did
guess
you guys
Yeah.
know?
free will.
Exactly.
Both of my parents like music. My mom's a big music listener. Neither of them played, but I don't know if I've ever told you this, but my dad was a DJ in high school.
Oh, really?
Yes.
That's cool.
That's so
Or no,
sick.
sorry, in college. So he would like with
I
I
didn't know that.
think
With
actual
decks?
records. Yeah, like
Yeah.
with decks.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's cool.
That's so sick. Yeah. So I feel like that is like such a cool experience to have. Kind of, you guys all had different backgrounds, but you're all here and you're all in a band
Mhm.
together. You have known each other for a super long time, since elementary school, is that right?
Yeah, we
Yeah.
have this guy, Lance and I.
Okay, gotcha.
I met them later.
We met in
Later.
high school.
Yes.
How would you say that the roles that you play in the band and your songwriting process has changed over the years of you guys being a band?
That's such a good question too. I'll let someone else answer that because
Usually John and I make all the decisions. And Just kidding.
I would, yeah. So when I joined in high school, I can only speak to then, but really, I feel like that's when
that we started taking it seriously.
became like a band, because before weren't you guys kind of just fooling around?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So when I came in, John was the only person writing for us. And I had stuff I was working on, but most of it wasn't really making it in to the band. Then I started writing more for the band, so then it was kind of us two primarily. And then was it around pandemic? You started learning
It was
guitar, Lan?
before.
Before pandemic, like
before.
2 years before, right?
But then
Yeah, 2 years
you
before.
started learning and writing. So at this point, it sounds like a cop out, but we're all pretty equal in terms of
Pretty equal.
how much we contribute to each song. Of course, I'm the largest slice of that pie, but
There you go.
you know, I'm just kidding.
Lance, you go first, then I'll say something.
Oh yeah, just well, because I was solely the drummer for like the first couple of years,
Right.
and then like Ben was saying, he started writing songs, and yeah, John was really the only one writing in the very early days. And so I was like, I feel kind of left out. Like this songwriting thing sounds kind of fun. Like drums can contribute the backbone of the song, everything's rhythmic, but
Yeah.
there's no melodic, things you can contribute. So I learned guitar, and then my whole world of music like branched into two. It's like, whoa, I can write chords and melodies and everything like that. So that was like a big epiphany moment for me. There's more than just hitting things.
Yeah.
But yeah, so like I remember I was growing up, I was really into Nirvana, and obviously an angsty young preteen/teen, and I just wanted to be in a band so bad. So I started a band with some of my like mates from sports, and that didn't stick around. And then finally got, like, long story short, Lance was like a drummer and finally convinced him to start doing it again. And then we did tryouts.
Wait,
and
let
Ben-
me quickly interject. He says again because we were elementary school talent show prodigies back way back.
Return.
Yeah. So he made a grand return,
Yeah.
and we had members come and go and different commitment levels, and then it kind of evened out until the guys that were really committed. And I don't see it like even though like I feel like I like may have technically started the search for people and started the band, I don't feel that way at all. I feel like we've really started a new thing together. I think that we're all like three equals. I think Ben is downplaying it. I think that we truly are all like writing separately and equal, or together and equal. It's just, I think that the roles in the band have developed and like flourished now, that there's not really like, even though Lance plays drums, I'll write drum parts, Ben will write drum parts, like we all write guitar lyrics, everything. So it's not like there's like the more classic structure of a band. So
Yeah. I think that is such a cool experience that you are like quite literally like physically growing up together, but then also too like growing in like your music taste and like that sort of thing too. And you had a good point of like exploring like melodies and things like that. And actually like a funny, like, I don't know if you guys are familiar with the band Wallows, but they had kind of similar, like, I believe it's Cole or Braden, one of them, just like on this most recent release that they did, he sang when he had never sang before.
Oh, cool.
that's
That's cool.
Yeah, so that
Yeah.
reminds of that. And I feel like that is so cool that you guys get to kind of like explore and like play around with things, find what you enjoy. Would you say, like from a logistics standpoint, like band to-dos or like band tasks that you have to do, is there anything that like maybe one person enjoys more than the other, or like someone's like, no, like let me do the social media, like I want to do it, or like something like that?
Drum editing.
Oh God, yeah.
Everyone hates drum editing.
I would
say like I don't do the social
No,
media,
he
and he
doesn't.
just does it. And it's not that he likes doing it, it's just that he picks up the slack.
We all we're not like anti-social media. We're not like we're not like we're just not super into it. It's not like a philosophical thing really. It's just that we spend our time doing other things. So for all of us it's kind of a chore to post. I just usually end up doing it for whatever reason. But you guys do help. You guys do post as well.
It's not as natural as some other people where like social media is an extension of who they are, you know?
Yeah.
And whereas us, it feels like definitely like
Wait, we need to look at the trends this week. Like,
yeah, wait,
blowing up.
what's going on?
Yeah, you're
you
like
know?
submitting reports to each other, and
We are every time
Yeah.
I'm gonna post something. I don't just post it. I'm like, I
Yeah,
feel the
same
need
with
to
me.
send it to you guys first. I'm like,
Is
is
it
this like
yeah.
right? Is
Yeah.
this what people are doing?
Am I like committing an atrocity?
Yeah.
Can you guys proof this?
a PR
Yes.
crisis.
Yeah,
Yes,
exactly.
yes.
Well, I mean, yeah, I feel like there's definitely going to be like a lot of learning curves and stuff like that. And some people definitely like that more than others. Now, this is a question that we will ask a lot of bands when they're touring. And how would you say your like instruments or your tech, like how has that evolved and changed?
Oh, because this kind of ties into the last question too. I
Yeah.
would say that I am the
Yeah,
techiest.
definitely.
Of
Definitely.
all the
No
people.
question.
So
Okay.
like I feel like our live setup is very advanced for how like minimalistic it is too. I'm really proud of it. I feel like I did a really good job designing it. It's really streamlined. But in terms of our tech, how has it advanced?
I was about to say it's advanced in like in a smart way. Like it's not advanced in the way that's like we have every single piece of gear is like top of the line, most expensive thing. It's
Sure.
advanced in the way that it's like, yeah, it's streamlined and smart and efficient,
Yeah.
Okay.
I'd say.
So like we still are, for example, like some bands will have in-ear monitors and they'll be, actually sound good. Whereas like right now, Ben and I are sharing we're basically we both have mono mixes because we figured out we can actually get 2 in-ear monitor mixes if we make them both mono rather.
It's essentially like on stage, he gets the left ear,
Yes.
I get the right ear.
Yes,
It's like when you're
yeah.
it's
Okay.
really
just being
a bit janky, but it's good.
Yeah.
It works.
I feel like being savvy, being frugal, like
Yeah, it's
getting
savvy.
by with what we have and not spending too much for the sake of like just pleasure or like just making it sound better. Like we don't need a stereo mix, we can get by with our mono mix.
Mhm.
Would it be nice? Yeah, but
Gotcha. Yeah, for sure. Now, maybe you guys can go down the line and share what brand of picks, sticks, and strings you're using, obviously for your respective instruments.
Do you want
And
to
if
start?
it's like whatever you found under the couch, you can say that too.
That's the answer for me. I am such not a like gearhead.
this guy I don't think has ever. So how long have you had that bass?
Which
The
bass?
bass at home that you track with?
Oh my god. Since I was in middle school, I think. Oh no, early high school, probably like a freshman.
It's a Squire, right?
It's the rinky dinkiest. Like I play the bass guitar on stage, you have to understand. But I play like a communal band bass guitar, my own personal bass guitar, which I record when I'm writing songs at my house. It's like a toy. It's like some Walmart.
Sounds good. Never change the strings.
Never change the strings. I have no idea what kind of picks I'm using. I can tell you they're heavy picks. That's what I like.
All right.
That's what I got.
I play like you can see a bunch of the guitars back there.
Yes.
Actually, most of them. This is a Squire. That's a Jazzmaster that I built. That's like a mock Stratomaster that I built. That's a J bass. You know, one of my hobbies is like building and like souping up guitars. So not a lot of them are like actually original or like genuine, but I play with like tens, like non-coated strings with Fender heavies. Yeah.
All right. And how did you get into that kind of building your
This is
instrument?
I was into Legos, I guess.
Sure.
And then I was really into like electronics and like building. I built a couple pedals. That's really tedious, but uh, I loved guitars and found out I could save a few $100 by building them myself.
Okay.
And then my dad's also pretty like savvy with that too. Yeah, it's just like kind of a fun thing to get like be able to really know what's happening within your guitar. I before I dropped out, I was majoring in electrical engineering. So I
Okay.
feel like that was kind of an alternative path for me.
Yeah. And it's something that you're interested in, but then it also benefits you from
Yeah.
music and a band standpoint too. It's cool. That's a sick hobby to have. How about you? What
Uh,
your brands, your go-to brands?
I'm more similar to Ben. Like
Okay.
whatever works. So I use Vic
For the
Firth.
couch.
Yeah, I use Vic Firth sticks. Oh yeah, here they are.
We're like rats, and John's like our benefactor. He like gives us things.
You're using what?
Firth.
Oh no,
Use
use
that.
this. Here, you can have this.
And I like Remo drum heads, not
Okay.
Evans.
All right, sounds good.
Yeah.
So you're signed with Arista Records, part of Sony Music Group. Tell me how that kind of all came together. How did you find your label?
I think they found us.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We started our band in high school and we wrote a song and we liked it and we actually wrote it in this room right here. And
Oh, yeah.
we recorded it and we released it and it did really well. We had no money because we were, going to college and just figuring out our place in the world. And it did really well. Just Spotify, one of those things that really
Yeah.
took off on its own.
Sure.
And basically the label saw that. I don't know how they saw that, but they saw it algorithmically or like numbers, and they sent a guy out to meet us, and we met him and we played more music for him and they liked it. So yeah, and then
Awesome.
it was like kind of a informal thing, and it's just nice they give us the support to keep on doing what we love.
Yeah.
Because who knows if that song didn't get picked up by Spotify, like what we would be doing right now, like maybe face down in a ditch or
Sure.
Sure, or face down in some ice cream.
Well, I wouldn't mind that.
So your most recent EP, Localism, how did it feel to have a team kind of behind that? And was there anything that was different in the way that you went about creating that project versus maybe ones that you did in the past?
I can say one thing for sure, it's different. The like how writing She Doesn't Get It was compared to this was that there's a lot more people involved and a lot more people's not only their money on the line, but their reputation and like just what their opinions are. So like it's not a bad thing. I'd rather have more opinions and like have more like people to lean on, but definitely it's a change, it's not just about what you and your bandmates think is cool in your garage now. It's about like what what a bunch of people think, and I think that's a kind of a cool step up.
Yeah, it also is cool because it's like it's an opinion coming from a completely different like area. Like it's a more like
Unbiased.
I don't know. I don't say educated opinion, but it's like, oh, sorry, go ahead.
I was just gonna say like outside, kind of unbiased.
Yeah, unbiased too, and it's like they're keeping up with trends, so they know what's hot and they know what's in the sound right now, and so molding that into our sound. So yeah, it's more opinions, but it's just more things to consider.
Yeah, absolutely. And do you have a song off of the EP that you were most excited to play live on tour?
Marty.
All right.
Yeah.
Marty. It's Marty.
We kind of
yeah.
I feel like that was like produced by us in here too. So like it was
Yeah.
really so one of our first, if not our first, like self-produced songs. Obviously we had people help us with it, so I'm not gonna like discount their opinion and their like work that they did on it. But it definitely felt like it was rooted in what we did in here. So that felt cool.
Yeah, like, and just to piggyback both on this and the previous question, it's difficult to pin down the process of making localism just with some kind of blanket thing, because some of the songs were very like, we got a lot of help making decisions. Like, that was true for a bunch of them, like If You Run, for example. But
When making decisions, I want to clarify, it's not songwriting. that
no,
we're
no,
making
no,
many
just like
decisions,
little things like,
sonically making.
how do we want to produce
Yeah,
this?
just
Like, yeah.
holistically, yeah, just little things here and there, for sure.
Yeah. But Marty was the last song we wrote for the EP, and a lot of times songs take a long time for us to make because we're very meticulous, but that song fell out really, really quickly. I guess just maybe it's the recency, maybe it's like how just like inspired we were, like we just like threw that song up and it was just suddenly released.
Yeah.
So it's just so fun to play live. It also just translates really well live.
Yeah, for sure. And that's a really special experience too, to kind of have that variation of like a song that maybe takes a little bit longer and then one that all of a sudden just like hits you and like you're just it's just like go 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 and it's
Yeah.
yeah, for sure. So on this tour you'll be making a stop near me, Lincoln Hall in Chicago, but you'll also be making some stops at House of Blues and also the Basement East in Nashville, I believe, as well. Do you have a specific show like in your head already that you're really excited to play?
Honestly, for me, it was Chicago, and I'm not just saying that because you're there and this whole thing, because I've never been there. I don't think any of us have actually. And I
don't think
checked
so.
out the venue too online. It looks super cool.
Yeah,
So truly, it was Chicago for me. I'm really excited
right.
for that.
Cool.
I'm excited for LA when I can sleep in my own bed.
Yes.
for a
There you
bit,
go.
and then
Yeah,
go right to San Diego the next day.
very
Um,
nice.
No, I'm just kidding. I think I'm looking forward to New York.
Yeah, that'll be
Oh
cool.
yeah, New York too.
Every time we've played in New York, it's been fun.
Plus all the label will be there, so
Oh,
we
yeah.
can show our guns.
You're
Yeah.
like, look at this. Check it
Yeah.
out.
That's right.
Very nice. Yeah, no, Lincoln Hall is a really, really cool venue. I think you guys will enjoy
Yeah, it
it.
looks super cool.
And you guys will be kind of on tour March and April and stuff like that. So you'll hopefully hit some good weather as you're kind of moving.
Do you think it's not going to be like snowing?
It might be hit or miss. Like it might be
Okay.
cold,
That's what I've heard too.
or it might be like 60 and sunny. So
Ah,
you'll
I
just
looked
have
up
to see.
our
Yeah.
first stop is Toronto, and I
Uh-huh.
looked up like average day for Toronto on it's March 1st, that's when we're playing there.
Yeah.
It's like 35 is the high or something, like 38, and then like 15 is the low.
Did you
It's
guys
So I'm
have to
packing accordingly.
did you guys have to like get coats for this, or are you just gonna like layer up super heavy?
That's what I'm doing.
Yeah.
Lance and I like skied, but that's not
Sure.
really like the right type of gear.
Yeah.
It's not really
Yeah.
gear that you wear out.
Ski pants and a ski
Yeah,
jacket.
exactly. So
Yeah.
I
Um,
don't know that you'll need the ski pants unless you're waiting on the side of the road for like a tow truck or something. You should be
I-
good with just a jacket. Well, you know, never
I
know.
think you underestimate the paper thin quality of our Southern California skin.
That's
I think
true.
we-
Maybe you do. Maybe some, like fleece lined pants or something.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So this is a question that I ask on every Music Mukbang episode. If you could play any venue, whole entire world, does not matter the size, what venue would you like to play?
Mm.
I
Come on,
think-
wait, what do you
We're
mean,
not
guys?
live, so
No, but she said whole world. So
Oh,
now I'm
whole
just giving it a
world.
one more think over. I don't know that many venues outside of the US, to be honest.
yeah.
Oh, I see.
International Space Station first.
The ISSO. Yeah.
Before they disassemble it.
I know it's coming down.
Oh, is it really?
It's
Yeah,
coming
it
down
is.
within the decade.
Damn.
Oh no.
I was gonna say Red Rocks
That's
Yeah.
a good one.
Red Rocks would be amazing.
I'll-
or like Hollywood Bowl
I would say Hollywood Bowl, I think.
Okay.
or like the Forum,
I wanted to play at that new sphere they built.
the Sphere.
Oh yeah,
The-
the,
That would be so cool. Like designing all the visuals on the ceiling and
Yeah.
stuff.
yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah.
Yes,
The
yes.
giant emoji like sun face. Yeah.
We've talked about this before. You know how
Madison Square.
one time
Oh.
Pink Floyd played at like Pompeii.
Okay.
I would like to be the first. Yeah, we kind of joked about it, but I'd like to be the first band to play in space. Maybe on Mars, maybe on the moon.
Stonehenge.
Stonehenge is a popular space destination.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think that'll probably be soon.
Yeah.
In the near
Well,
future,
that-
everyone got to watch out
yeah,
for it.
yeah,
after
Yes.
this tour, right?
Yes.
He's
yes.
just
After the tour.
he's dropping hints, but
Yes. Yes.
Sounds good. Well, thank you guys so much for coming on the show. I really, really appreciate it. I'm so excited to see all the cool content and everything, your experience on tour. When do you guys kick that off? March 1st, right? That's the first one, Toronto?
March 1st, but we are leaving what day?
25.
Yeah.
Soon.
25th.
So
Very
We're
soon.
driving.
And where can everyone follow you on social media so they can
you
keep
can
track?
follow us at Rec Hall Music, no spaces, on Instagram. I think it's the same tag for everything.
Uh-huh.
Instagram, TikTok,
Hmm.
PayPal. No, I'm just kidding.
It's mostly those two.
All right,
Yeah.
sounds good. Well, good luck on tour. Thank you so much for joining us on Music Mukbang. I'm Zoe, and yeah, thank you. Woo!
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Awesome.